A reading from the Gospel of Mark. They went to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." He took with him Peter and James and John and began to be distressed and agitated. And he said to them, "I am deeply grieved even to death. Remain here and keep awake." And going a little farther, he threw himself on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. He said, "Abba, Father, for you all things are possible. Remove this cup from me, yet not what I want, but what you want." Immediately while he was speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived, and with him there was a crowd with swords and clubs, and the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "The one I will kiss is the man. Arrest him and lead him away under guard." So when he came, he went up to him and at once said, "Rabbi," and kissed him. They then laid their hands on him and arrested him. You know, the life of Jesus while he was here on earth was a pattern of wanting to do only what God wanted to be done. You remember he said to his disciples in John chapter 4, my purpose is only to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. In other words, his sole purpose was to do the will of God. And everything about the life of Jesus while he was on this earth lined up with that purpose. And here in Mark chapter 14, even when Jesus was facing death by what was then the most cruel of methods, crucifixion, he surrendered himself to the will of his Father. It's so important for us to understand what Jesus meant when he prayed these words, "Not my will, but yours be done." Jesus wasn't saying, "I don't want to be obedient." He wasn't saying, I refuse to submit. Jesus was saying, "Father, if there's any other way to do this, I would rather not have to do it this way. What you've set before me is more terrible than I can imagine or contemplate, not just the physical torture, but Father, becoming sin for them. I'm not sure I have the strength to face it, but if this is what you want, this is what I'll do. Not my will, but your will be done." I also want you to notice what happened after Jesus prayed this prayer. Luke tells us that an angel came to him and strengthened him. That angel was the messenger from God. He came from heaven with the Father's answer to Jesus' prayer. And the answer was this: "You must drink of this cup." And thank God that he did. That he who knew no sin, 2 Corinthians 5:21, became sin, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. And for us, you know, today, the real prayer of faith is the prayer that trusts God, no matter what the answer is. No matter if the answer is yes or no. That trusts him to give the answer that's best for us. And he always has our best in mind. He's always, the Bible says, working out all things together for our good and for our glory. And that's worth remembering, especially in tough times like we're living through right now. Seek him, trust him. He's going to work it all out and fulfill his purpose for your life. God bless you.
Lord, take this cup, if it be thy will. I cried in despair when my heart was troubled still. Then I heard his voice, so sweet and clear, "This too shall pass, I'll always be near." Carry me, Lord, through the darkness of night. I cannot go on without seeing the light. Then the words of his Spirit gave me rest. Endure as I did, and he shall be blessed. Sustain me, Lord, I cannot go on. I cried in distress, feeling all hope was gone. Then I think of my Lord, who came from above to suffer for me through